All right, everybody. Good morning. Las Vegas Collectibles. IG is LVC Diversified. Just woke up this morning, getting ready to go to work. So I saw Rudy from Alpha Investments put out another video, and it's again, he does box openings that are just very normal, like a lot of other people do box openings. But then he gives his 2 cents on the product, tries to give his perspective for his the value of a product, or maybe he's just pumping it up so that way more people will pay for it. I don't know. But so I like to watch it because I like to see what his take is on the value of a product. I invest in magic products. I have, anyways. I'm slowing that down. If you looked at my Instagram, you know why. But he he has interesting perspectives on things, and I'm going to actually, there we go. I'm also putting together the thumbnail for this video, and I wanted to do this for people who maybe they don't know how all this works, or maybe they want to start a YouTube channel of their own and they don't know how to make certain things. I figured this is how I do it. This is how I figured out how to do it. For years and years, I've always used PowerPoint for my profession. And so I decided I'm going to create a thumbnail in PowerPoint because it's something I'm used to. It's something that I can easily manipulate. And so this is how I do it. You can see I take screenshots of things that I'm including in my video because I want to give credit to where I sourced the information. This is the Alpha Investments one. We don't even need that anymore. And then I'll get a little screenshot of my face somehow. Hold on. Look at that. Look at that. And then that's basically how you do that. So I'm going to put in some text and stuff in here, but I was talking about how Rudy just came out with something, and now that you can see where I got the information from, I'm going to play this for you. Again, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but this is Alpha Investments' latest video, so he gets all the credit, but listen to this.
I can't lie about it. I can't really tell you otherwise. I can definitely feel why it's tougher to feel like there's a tremendous value in Midnight Hunt. This isn't even Crimson Vow. We haven't even gotten to that. I'll probably start that up in the next week or so once I get these other videos caught up. But it's one of these situations where it's like, I get it. I do. I mean, with all the choices out there, that's the problem right now. I don't think these products are bad. But people are saying, Rudy, why should I buy this Magic product versus buying Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Weiss or Vanguard or MetaZoo or Flesh and Blood or all the other new 10, 20 startups on Kickstarter? It's more of a situation where there's so many things going on, people are choosing to park money in other categories in new startups and more potentially exciting items.
So I thought that was an amazing insight that he had that I've been trying to share, but I can't talk as eloquently as other people that have been doing this for a while. And like what Josh Luber just put out and what I talked about last night, he wants to saturate the market with different products, right? And I don't know if that's going to be exciting enough for people to continue to invest into sports cards specifically, especially so many different products. And yes, he's going to capture a new market. He's going to capture interested markets, but are they going to stay in the market if they don't feel like it's special, right? If there's so much of something, does it matter? And just like with investments, and you see all the cryptocurrencies that come out, and people are like, oh, then there's like hype and craze, and they buy a bunch of it just because it's the new thing. It does matter. because it's new, and so it's exciting, and they don't know what's going to happen with it, and they get all into it, and they don't, like, if you, people are emotional investors, you know, and Rudy talks about that a lot. If something is exciting, they're going to do it. When collector's boxes came out with Magic and all the cards were shiny, everybody was excited about it, like, oh my gosh. But now the collector boxes are released and the price doesn't really move up much. There's not a lot of demand in the secondary market, you know, and especially at the price points. And so this was just really interesting to me, and I wanted to put this out there. I wanted other people to hear it because it's going to relate to comics. It's going to relate to everything. You know, it's not only that now people are going back to work and they have money, so they can participate in different things and they can invest in different things. You know, you also have to think about our economy and what the amount of things there are to invest in. And I think he puts this great. Now he's focused on trading card games, right? Like that's why Magic sales aren't that great, because of things like nostalgics. You know, when MetaZoo came out in Kickstarter, nobody cared. You know, it didn't sell very well and blah, blah, blah. And then like a year or two later, each one of those Kickstarter boxes were selling for like $10,000. Like just crazy money. And so now you see Metamahan. I wonder if he wants to like pronounce it as Metaman, but I always say Metamahan. But so Metamahan put out some videos about a couple TCGs that were released on Kickstarter. And look at this. Nostalgic, that TCG when it came out, it destroyed the Kickstarter TCG records. Because people, after MetaZoo, they now see Kickstarters as IPOs, like initial public offerings for stocks. And they are, right? And so it's actually like a round of funding for the products. That's the whole point. And look at that. Just, you know, 800,000 plus made on Kickstarter for Grand Archive. So many people are buying into it now because of what happened with MetaZoo. Everybody's speculating on that. And that's great. And that's cool for the hobby. And hopefully those are new people into the hobby, but I doubt they are. You know, that 800K, that's most likely like similar MetaZoo people, Flesh and Blood people, maybe some Magic the Gathering people, and that money would have been in Magic, right? If you think about it like that, like it's the opportunity cost. So now Magic's putting out these different products, but the opportunity cost is so much greater for their collectors, investors, and people outside the hobby, people outside Magic, that there's, yeah, Magic's great, whatever, you know, but it's old and boring. They're bringing in serial numbered cards to really spice things up and maybe get some of that money back into Magic. But the same thing could be said for sports cards. The opportunity cost for it is just insane. And it's what holds me back from pulling the trigger more often in sports cards products. There's always a great return on sports card products right now, but I don't know if there will be, right? If we saturate the market and we have all these new people come into sports cards, I don't know if that's going to, you know, and I have responsibilities, I have obligations just like the rest of you, so I always have to think about these things. And I absorbed what Rudy said, and I absorbed what Metamahan said, and I filtered it through my brain, and my brain is more of a cost basis, a little bit of a pessimistic, realist kind of. I don't even want to say pessimistic. It's not that I'm pessimistic. I'm very hopeful for a lot of things. I'm very positive for a lot of things. It's just I'm very realistic. And I've seen so much craziness in my life where I refuse to just be blinded by, you know, shiny objects. And I don't believe in that. So I wanted to bring this up to you. I wanted you to have a sampling of what Rudy talks about. And this is Metamahan. If you don't know who he is, please take a look at some of his videos. I think he does a great job. But yeah, whenever you see these things, people are putting their money into other things that would have gone into Magic, that would have gone into Pokemon, that would have gone into sports cards. But now there's so many other things. There's Flesh and Blood. There's these Weiss boxes are amazing that he's mentioning. They're an anime type of trading card game. Flesh and Blood, Weiss, MetaZoo, Grand Archive, Nostalgex. There's so many speculative things and so many new assets that maybe someday will be like blue chip assets. And so it's just so much, right? Like you're just getting hit from all different sides with all these different things. Don't forget that the idea of investing in sealed product in Magic and sports cards and things like that. Like if you're going for the sealed product investment, the aim is always about 5 years, right? 5 years is the goal, to be able to park money somewhere and to make 5 to 7% on that money. If you can just stick to your goal, remember that. Have your buckets of money is my best advice that I could possibly give. I have a bucket of money where I put money into, just so you know how I do my finances. Every month it's pretty tight because I take money that I would have left over and I put a certain percentage of it in a 457 deferred comp. I put a percentage of it into an HSA. I put a percentage of it into my pension. The state, that's like more of an automatic deduction. I don't even have an option for that. And then I put a portion of it into physical assets, like collectibles. So I have a plan every month, right? The problem is there's so many different collectibles to put that in. So I'm now going to be making a bucket for my kind of standard blue chip products that I will buy physical assets of. And that would include like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon booster boxes, and Flesh and Blood first editions. Those are going to be my 3 blue chips for the TCG. I'm also going to be buying Bowman Chrome every year. Products for baseball. And I think I might still buy that after, that might be beyond Fanatics. I'm going to be buying the Fanatics non-sports cards releases. And then I'm going to be buying the NFTs from Fanatics. So those are going to be kind of my buckets. And then I'm going to have another bucket for speculation every month. And these buckets aren't big. It'll be enough to buy every month, maybe 2 to 3 booster boxes and an NFT. That's my goal every month. And it's important to stay on your budget and stay on your path and stay on target, because there's so many things coming at you. There's so many YouTube content creators. There's so many Instagram channels. You don't have to keep up with them. You try to watch and enjoy and learn and live vicariously through their life as much as you possibly can, so that way you do not become addicted, because this is obviously becoming more than like an investment or a collector's type of world. I am very fearful of a future where so many people lose so much money. We already knew this was happening. People putting stuff on credit cards and all those other things, but the way that this is going, it's growing at such a high speed. I think people are going to get lost in it way too quick, and regulation is going to come. I think the IRS targeting bank accounts for, I think it's like 20 transactions that equal $10,000 in a year or something like that. Yeah. I think regulation is coming. So be careful. Find what your budget number is and stick to it. Stick to it. It's the same way people stick to their financial investments when it comes to 401ks. They find their budget. They allocate their investments every month, every paycheck. And they focus on what really matters. Their family, their work, their charitable givings, whatever it is. But this is becoming very large and I think very toxic to a lot of people. So I wanted to put out a little PSA. Check in with yourself. Take a moment, take a breath, do your taxes, do your balance sheet, do your annual net worth statement, do these things where when you see how much money you're putting into stuff. I told my wife that this coming year I'm going to start putting our monthly bank statements, all of our transactions every month on our bathroom mirror. So we have to face what we do every month. So when we have really tight months and we don't know why, we're like, oh my God, why don't we have enough money to do what we want? Or why don't we have enough money to do this or do that or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we have to face the consequences of what we do. And I think that's going to be really sobering for us. I think that's going to really motivate us to do better each month. And I'm going to highlight the dumb stuff, the jack in the boxes, the whatever it is, I'm going to highlight it. And so that way we both see it every day, and she can 100% see everything that I'm doing in sports cards and TCGs, and I can see everything she's doing in Amazon and with her dog business. Maybe that's something that you can use to help yourself. Just print it off every month, tape it to your bathroom window, your bathroom mirror, so you have no option but to face the truth of what you're doing so you can make better decisions moving forward. Other than that, I hope you have a great day. This video is going to be uploaded right now. Happy Monday, everybody.